the aftermath of the attempt that was. It's the day after. I made it back to the car, made it back home, had something to eat, put an update on Instagram and went to sleep. And I iced the front of my calf. I put some ice cubes down a sock, but the sock wasn't long enough for me to put the ice cubes on the back of my calf. So I've woken up this morning, the front of my calf feels sore but okay, the back of my calf is in fucking absolute agony. I'm extremely dehydrated. I've just sat in the shower and drunk 2 litres of water. I've filled up my bottle again. I'm going to get back in the shower. I'm going to sit in there for as long as it takes me to drink the second 2 litres of water, so that means we've got 4 litres on board today already. Nutrition, hydration, rest, ice, and just overall recovery, mentally and physically, is what is necessary in this instance. I don't know how long I'm going to be away from running, but I know that I can't run at the moment, which is disappointing. But I indeed pushed my body to its limit, and I wanted to continue, but I couldn't. And I had to think about, I had to think of the future. I had to put that goal that I'd prepared for, that I'd looked forward to, that I was totally convinced I had the balls to get done. I had to put it to the wayside and think, you know, the goal's still there, you're still in one piece, just stop now. And to be honest, even if I wanted to push through that pain, I couldn't. It was just too much, too sharp, too overwhelming. The pain went from the front of my calf, from about kilometre 25, and then I started overcompensating, I think. Then it came up the back of my calf, and at about kilometre 28, that's when I started really feeling it. Kilometre 30, it was becoming troublesome, and I stopped and tried to stretch it out a wee bit. Then I continued. Kilometre 31, it was still there. Kilometre 32, I think I might have mentioned it, that the pain was significant. I tried stretching again, then I continued, and I think a few steps after that last attempt at stretching it out, I just felt the pain just increase significantly and sharply, and I thought, that doesn't feel like something I should be trying to push through. So that is how the evening ended. I got home at about 1:30 in the morning, 32.7 kilometers in the bank. My running vest has rubbed raw my neck, and as well as that, my stomach. So the two straps, actually I think that's from the actual vest itself, but this is one of the straps that you tighten to keep it on, and that has literally rubbed raw. And you know, I mentioned it in the video leading up to last night's run. I said, and I just remembered it, you know, I actually said it on camera, I spoke it out loud, and it was, if I do fail, then it's got to be a lesson learnt, not a failure. And there were lessons learnt. You know, I'll be taking gels with me next time for the ease of use, the ease of consumption. I will be wearing at least something underneath my running vest, because I don't want to deal with cuts and bruises from a running vest. I may actually prefer to fill up the flask on the back of my vest and have my sipping tube rather than these two heavy-ish and a little bit uncomfortable feeling flasks on the front of my body, which would then balance me out a bit more, I think. But overall, I mean, I may have gone out a little too fast, but that's how I was feeling at the time. Even that the final kilometers that I was doing, kilometer 30, 31 and 32, I did in like mid 5s, 5:30. So I wasn't slowing down. I didn't feel like I needed to slow down. My mindset was strong. My lungs felt absolutely fine. I kept my heart rate at a steady 150 pretty much the entire time. And all of that overall pleases me. And it has to, because you've got to take the wins where you can. Unfortunately, we didn't get it done, but I did get a 32.5 kilometer training run under the belt. And that is 32 kilometers more than I had at the beginning of yesterday. So I'm going to get back in that shower, get another 2 liters of water in, and whilst my calf is out of action, I'm going to focus on some weight training, which I've put to the wayside for the last 2 to 3 weeks. I'm feeling skinny, and this is going to be a good opportunity to get back in the gym and just work on the upper body for a couple of weeks. I think I honestly I can't see myself getting out there and running for the next 2 weeks. Recovery and ice and anti-inflammatories are going to be important. I've got to be on top of that, and a little bit of light stretching is going to be super important too. So that is the aftermath of my attempt at a sub-4 marathon with 7 total weeks of training. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your support. We live to fight another day. When that day will be, God knows. Only time will tell. I am severely dehydrated, and I need to work on that. Thanks guys. See you in the next one. Alright, I'm out of the shower. And the only thing I need to focus on right now which is something that has happened before, is not going into self-sabotage mode. And what that looks like for me is 0 exercise, a lot of shit food, and my mental health going down the toilet. And that can happen in the space of a week. So I need to get in the gym. I need to buy some decent food, have it available in my cupboard and in my fridge. And I need to stick to recovery protocols for my calf so I can get back on the road as fast as possible. But first, I need to get in that gym. So I'm going to head down, I'm going to hit some chest and back. Hopefully I'll get a decent pump. I've got 4 liters of water in me. Huge amount of carbs yesterday, not so much today. So yeah, wish me luck guys, and I will see you in the next video. Alright?